Hey, I'm Comrade Shane, and welcome to Juche Lessons. Today we will be discussing an integral standpoint of Juche towards the world. The attitude of approaching the change and development of the world, focusing on humanity's activities. General Secretary Kim Jong-il once said, quote, "Approaching the world by focusing on humanity means dealing with the change and development of the world mainly on the basis of the activity of humanity who transforms it." End quote. This means to focus on the creative ability of humanity in the cognition and transformation of the world, and to solve all problems by enlisting the creative ability of humanity. As President Kim Il-sung said, quote, "In all the activities to transform nature and society, the first process must be to train humanity to be a more powerful being, and all problems arising in the revolution and construction must be solved by increasing humanity's creative role." End quote. The first process must be to train humanity to be a more powerful being in all activities to transform nature and society. This is the requirement to approach the transformation and development of the world with humanity's activities as the main factor. It is very complicated and arduous work to cognize and transform the world. But humanity is a master in cognitive and practical activities. It is humanity who demands cognition and transformation, and who makes and uses all conditions necessary for cognition and practice. The width, depth, and success of the cognitive and practical activities depend on humanity, its master. No activities of humanity can be made beyond their preparedness. Humanity makes cognitive and practical activities in conformity with their preparedness. And this is why we should pay primary significance to training humanity, master of the world, to be more powerful beings in all activities of cognizing and transforming nature and society, and consider it as the first process. In 1976, the 11-year compulsory education that had started experimentally in the DPRK 3 years before was enforced on a nationwide scale. While studying the preparation of a new school year, the General Secretary, Comrade Kim Jong-il, came to know that 3 primary school pupils in Juche Island off Nampo Sea came to the land to study. An official said that although they study far from their parents, they study merrily in the care of the villagers there. But the General Secretary asked that a school be built right on the island for them. A school built entirely for the service of 3 pupils. This is unprecedented in human history of public education. A school was built on the lighthouse island in a very short span, and a teacher was sent there to start a new school year. This demonstrates the importance placed on the scientific, technical, and ideological consciousness of the people, in view of training them to be more powerful beings, suiting of their position of masters of the state, means of production, and the entire society. On 31st of August 1998, the DPRK produced and launch artificial satellite Kwangmayong-sung No. 1 to outer space with her own technique, raw material, and effort. DPRK's reality that advances towards a powerful nation tells that when the primary attention is paid to training humanity into powerful beings, marvelous successes can be scored in cognition, practice, revolution, and construction. In order to approach the change and development of the world, focusing on humanity's activities, it is first necessary to put stress on shaping humanity into a more powerful being, and secondly, to solve all problems in the method of enhancing humanity's creative role. Humanity plays the decisive role in cognizing and transforming the world. Along with humanity, various material means participate in and play a role in the cognition and transformation of the world. For instance, scientific research work to discover the secret of nature requires measure apparatus, electric and electronic apparatus, and nature remaking projects require trucks, excavators, bulldozers, dredging machines, computers, robots, etc. And with the development of man's cognitive and transforming activities, these material and technical means play a bigger and bigger role. But this does not mean that the material and technical means play a bigger role than humanity does in cognizing and transforming the world. Without humanity, no technical equipment, however developed, could accomplish anything. Take computers that calculate huge amounts of calculations that humans cannot easily do with pen and paper. They would not exist without humanity who made such a machine. Some people say that humanity is faced with a crisis, falsely thinking that man intrinsically becomes a slave of information equipment when modern information technical means replace the physical and mental labor of man. What is the use of those things if they make mankind a fool and bring about a crisis of humanity? The problem lies not in the modern information and technical means, but in the social order and ideological consciousness. The development of science and technology and modern technical means implies the development of humanity's creative ability to conquer nature. In order to cognize and transform the world, humanity makes and uses necessary material and technical means. The role of modern material and technical means is decided by and serves humanity's role. It is therefore necessary to solve everything in the cognition and transformation of the world in the way of enhancing humanity's role. In order to enhance their role, it is necessary to inform them of the task and give priority to political work, to mobilize their strength, so that they become active with creative zeal and initiatives. It is also important to make effective and rational use of humanity's creative ability, taking into full consideration of the characteristics of the target, the state of the material and technical means, and the conditions. Only then is it possible to score the biggest success in the cognition and transformation of the world and in shaping humanity's destiny in the way of enhancing their creative role. The Juche viewpoint and standpoint that centers on humanity's activities is a powerful weapon that accelerates the cognition and transformation of the world at a high speed by enlisting humanity's creative ability. That's all for this episode. Check out our Facebook and Twitter pages for more Juche and DPRK content, which I will leave links to in the description of this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, so we can raise the revolutionary consciousness of the masses. And because I run solely on your motivation and encouragement. Red salute, Juche comrades!